Good evening. My name is Raimundo Reyes, and I am the host for Community Advisors RSR. And my co-host for the show is Maria Segari, La Contadora Latina, and Eduardo Rodriguez from LULAC, District Council 18. And today, Chief Deputy Lozano is joining us to talk about an issue that it's affecting our Hispanic community, and that it's affecting our street vendors. People are being harassing them, robbing them. So today we're going to be talking about how we can get justice and more security for the street vendors. Maria?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Maria Segari, La Contadora Latina, the Houston Tax Professionals. I am involved with the Hispanic community, especially immigrant community. So I'm trying to get information to pass over to the community. And welcome, Chief Lozano.
Thank you.
Edward?
All right, and I'm Ed Rodriguez. I used to be with ICE. I was a former ICE officer. And now I volunteer with LULAC, and I deal with civil rights, immigration, and even setting up councils with the young adults in the colleges and in the schools as well. So we have a really broad base here of experience. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good questions in today.
Yes.
All right, and Chief, you are?
I am Chief Deputy Lillian Lozano out of Sylvia Trevino Constable Department, Precinct 6.
All right.
Yay.
All right. So
Yeah, man. One of the better constables of precinct, so that's cool.
I am personally very proud of all of you because it's like girl power.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to.
All right.
So today, as I mentioned before, we're going to be talking about the street vendors. And so we know that in California, there's a challenge in the internet, more specific in Instagram, where young adults and they go out and beat up and rob Hispanic street vendors, the paleteros and eloteros, the people, the humble people that are poor that go out to the street and they sell elotes, paletas, provide for their family. And so, there's a challenge going on. And today we wanted to hear from our elected officials and people who work for constable's office to learn what they're doing to, solve that issue. I don't know if in Harris County we have that problem or here in Precinct 6, but today Chief Deputy is going to be providing some information. And like I mentioned before, there's a challenge in California where they go and harass and rob street vendors, Hispanic street vendors. And we also have seen that such actions take place in Illinois and also in North Carolina. So one of the questions that I wanted to ask to the Chief Deputy, do you know if street vendors are legally able to operate here in the state?
Yes.
Here, Harris County?
Yes, they are legally able to operate in Harris County.
Is there a licensing or a process for them if somebody wanted to get involved in that, or are you aware of that?
There is a food vendor license through the Health and Human Services Department, and they pay a fee depending on what their profits are. So it could go from $200 to $800. It just depends.
Okay, good. Wow, I didn't know that.
That's the same as the sales tax? Or it's a different tax?
I believe most of them are subcontractors, so they contract through the paleta companies. And they probably provide the license for them.
Okay.
So then they would be set up the same way that maybe an employee would for like a restaurant or a bar. They just have to go get their health permit or whatever to operate, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Well, what I heard, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No.
What I
Ladies
heard
first.
in our community, more than the street vendors, obviously it's growing because of these challenges. But what I heard more is that people that goes to cash their checks, especially people with no documents, they go and cash their checks, and then somebody's outside these places and they rob them. Or in the apartment complexes, they just get robbed and they don't report. I mean, is that a big problem in our city, or is just isolated incidents here and there? Or is it growing?
I am not aware of the incidents occurring in our precinct, but we do reach out to people. We do reach out to our community to try to educate them in making sure that they notify us. We share our dispatch number all the time at Civic Club meetings, National Night Out, at the schools. Within the businesses, we ask our deputies to go out and reach out to the community and let them know that if there is an issue, never be afraid to report it. And please call us at our 24-hour dispatch number, 713-274-3400.
Okay. So what is the difference, and excuse my ignorance, but what is the difference between the sheriff department and the constable?
It's only that we work for different departments. We're all certified by the state of Texas. We all pass the same exam. We just work for different department.
Okay. So if a street vendor has a problem, do they call the sheriff? Do they call the constables?
We ask that if it's an emergency, please call 911. And then if you call the Houston Police Department, you can also call us. And whoever gets there first, we're all willing to work with our community.
Okay.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask is it safe for street vendors to report? For example, what happens if a person is undocumented? Is it safe for them to report the crime? I know the answer is simple, and it's obvious yes, but we want to get the answer from you, from a person who works for a constable's office.
It's definitely, we want them to report. We don't care about your status. What we care about is protecting the community.
Okay, so one time I was told this person reported domestic violence, the lady, and she was asked for an ID, and she didn't have any but her passport or something. Is that something that regularly happens? Like they need to identify themselves with something?
We can ask for an ID. A lot of times it's just to document the person's name and date of birth, but it's not because we want to record it because of a status. No, we just want to be able to document who we're speaking to.
Okay. So any ID would be good enough?
Any ID, and if you don't have an ID, then word of mouth.
Okay.
What are the proper steps that a street vendor has to take to report whenever he or she has suffered from a crime?
The first step is to call our dispatch so that we can have a deputy show up to take a report. And at that point, we begin an investigation.
Okay.
All right.
So at any moment, if the person has a suspicion of who might that person be or where that person would be, can they contact you back and give you more information about the case?
Absolutely. Just because we take an initial report doesn't mean that if you have more information that another deputy or the same deputy, depending on the time of day that they see them, that they can call our dispatch again so that we can go out and get more information or possibly even make an arrest.
Okay. So if a street vendor wants to file charges, let's say that person was, assaulted, if they want to file charges, they have to go to court to prosecute, or it's just?
It all depends. If the suspect pleads out before the court date, then he or she will not have to go to court. But if they're subpoenaed, then they are the witness. So they will need to testify what happened.
Okay.
But
Because
they,
I
but
know
they
that
shouldn't be afraid of that.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. Some people is afraid of just reporting anything because they say they know where I live, they know where I work, and if I say anything, they're gonna come back and get me once they get out.
Who's to say they don't come back and get you anyway? So it's better to
Yeah.
report them and know exactly who did it to you so that they can pay for the consequences.
Okay.
Um, so I had talked to a street vendor that's here in precinct 6, right? And here in the north side, and he said that one of the issues when reporting it or whenever going through the process, whenever an incident happens, is that it's time consuming, and sometimes meaning that if they take a day off from selling their paletas and chicharrones on elotes, they're losing money, and sometimes they have to make that decision between losing money and going out to report a crime. Uh, what steps can the officers take for to make the process more faster to report?
Well, I don't know who they're contacting, but we make the scenes. So the street vendor does not have to take time off to come to our office to make a report. They simply have to call our dispatch at 713-274-3400, and we will send an officer to them.
Thank you.
Okay.
Eduardo, you had some important questions. Can you share some of them?
Yeah, sure. We have a lot of people in the community right now as far as the small vendors go. You know, we're talking right now with a group of vendors that, for the most part, are individuals, and like you said, they're subcontractors. But we also have the taco vendors, the food trucks, and the mom and pops, and they're pretty much the same way. What's the relationship that the constable of Precinct 6 especially, what relationship do you guys have with the business owners, the mom and pops that we're talking about? Because there's a lot more of those than there are the bigger businesses. Do you guys work with them? Do you put classes together? You know, what can we offer the people that are watching here an idea of what we can help in the future to get them through your office?
Well, we reach out to civic clubs. We go anywhere somebody would like for us to meet and discuss these types of things. So if in the future you want to organize a group after hours and you want us to go out and educate them in English or in Spanish, we can do that. We reach out to our community by when we drive by, we stop, we let them know who we are, we give them our dispatch number. We make sure that they understand that they are free to call us anytime. It doesn't even have to be a crime committed. If they don't feel comfortable and they feel somebody's suspicious, call us. You're not bothering us. That's our job. And we're here to serve the community.
You know, and I'm very happy that you actually are here today, because the regular citizen, right? Not just the community we're talking about today, but the regular citizen has no idea what the constables do. I mean, they see you guys everywhere, down at the courthouses and here and there. You know, we know that there are contract deputies that are involved in a lot of the suburban areas and what have you, but they don't really realize that you guys can do the same thing that the sheriff department do and the city department, and that precinct that you guys patrol encompasses both the city and the county.
Correct. You know? And we work together. We work together with our Houston Police Department and the sheriffs, because together we can solve more.
I would say you guys probably solve way more than they do. But,
Thank you.
But it's true. I mean, you guys have an opportunity, because one of the things I've noticed with the constables here in Harris County, especially, and especially in Precinct 6, I know a lot of guys over there. They don't mind going out and talking to the people, working the people, going out there and being part of the community. And, I've seen them literally go down. It reminds me of when I was starting out. Well, you knew everybody on the street. You just driving, hey man, what's up? Hey, you know what's it's incredible. And it seems like everybody feels more at ease when they're talking to the constables than when HPD shows up. I'm just saying, but yeah.
Well, we're very community oriented. We love our community. We reach out to them. We attend 26 civic club meetings a month.
Wow.
We have a huge national night out. We want our community to know that we're here for them. We give turkeys to the seniors. We give toys to the kids for Christmas. We're about to have a back to school this Saturday and give free masks away at our precinct. So we want the community to feel like we're not just there to put you in jail. We're there for you. If you want to talk, we do truancy. I did truancy for 20 years. So if you have an issue with your kids and you can't get them to go to school, you want somebody to tell them how important it is to get an education. That's what we're here for.
You just
Wow.
brought up something that's very important. We had already had this show before, and we were talking to a lot of HISDs. ISDs all throughout the state, literally all throughout the state, and nobody brought that up on who is doing the truancy. Number one, number two, because of what we got going right now with the COVID deal, we're going to have a lot of kids that are going to be so-called homeschooled,
Right.
but there's no real way for us to check. I mean, I think the officers are really going to be, really important for us in that respect, because without you guys knowing who's who, and that's the difference between, again, I'm not trying to play favorites, but the difference between PD and the constable's office is that you guys do know who lives in your area. You do know the kids. They are aware of them.
Yes.
And I'm trying to be really nice here, but but that's important right now during this deal that we have going. This is very important for us because we need to know that the people that we're talking to right now and they're listening in right now, we need to know that they understand that there is an officer, there is, some people out there who are willing to work with them, with their children, and make sure that everybody works on the same page. So I'm really happy to hear that.
Thank you.
And besides that, the problem with the street vendors is that we know they're being abused and they're being in this challenge, right? I don't know if you've seen the videos, if you had a chance to see the videos, but basically it's teenagers that go over there and rob them just for fun, to put it on their Instagram or their social accounts, just to get likes, to see who does it in a, I don't know, I guess more drastic way. But they're teenagers, most of them. So it's kids are born, obviously, or they are already in a path towards being delinquents, like being something bigger. So that's why we were very concerned about that.
And we do monitor social media. We make sure we're members. I personally am members of several of my civic clubs. We have a page on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Nextdoor. We monitor all those, and when people have concerns, they also reach out to us through social media. So that's a new way of communicating as well. But sometimes we don't recommend you post on Facebook or social media. It's better that you call us, because that's instant. If you post it, by the time we see it, it may be a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days. So it's always better to communicate with us and contact us immediately through our dispatch. Of course, 911 is if it's an emergency. If it's already happened, you call our dispatch number and let us know.
Okay.
Do you guys get a lot of reports about or from the small businesses? Is there, because I had an opportunity about 8 months ago in the Heights. There was a deal that was going on, and Chief Acevedo had a meeting, a town hall meeting with a lot of businesses there. And the biggest complaint with them was that they were getting burglarized literally every day. One place had been open just 14 months and been burglarized 12 months. And you know, those are the kinds of things. So I don't know, do you guys get those stats, or you guys get those reports as well?
We do, and we have a tight community relationship with our business owners, both small and large. And they know, usually they have our card and our phone number somewhere by the register to make contact with us. And we do
Good.
that with our small vendors too. Like you said, the taco trucks, we stop by, we let them know who we are, and we give them a card.
Yeah, I stopped by too, but it's not to talk to them.
Right. It's to
So
keep
you
them in
do,
business.
Hey, the reason I'm able to stop by is because somebody's taking care of them. So thank you.
yeah, so you actually have a close relationship with their small businesses. So if you see a street vendor, let's see here and there, do you stop them at some point and ask them if they have the permits, or how are they operating at all?
Absolutely not. That's not our concern. Our concern is to make sure that our citizens are safe, and that's what we do. We want them to feel safe and comfortable. We don't want them to be afraid of us, because we're not interested in their status.
Okay.
We're just glad that they're here and they're trying to make a living.
So they can
Yeah.
trust you 100% that you're here to help them, and not, not the other.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
now that we're speaking about safety, let's go ahead and bring in the current situation with the hurricanes that are about to be coming through our area. Luckily, it looks like they're not going to be that big of a deal. It's going to be something that we normally do anyways. But are you guys, how do you guys work with the within the community and the other agencies to prepare for that?
Well, we have a water rescue team,
Oh,
and
I didn't know that. Wow.
we have boats and Hummers to be able to drive in the high water. And we're prepared to stay from the beginning to the end. During Harvey, we were at the station for almost 2 weeks. We slept there, we ate there, and we took care of business.
Wow. So you're definitely ready for this one.
We are definitely ready, but I think it's going the other way, which is great.
Yeah, it is really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chief, we don't hear these things. I mean, we don't hear that, like you just said about y'all guys being there for 2 weeks solid and working and being there for everybody. These stories never make it. Why don't the local news anchors get that information out to us? Because that's important. That really is. That means a lot to our people.
I don't know. We posted on social media. We let the community know that we're there during Harvey. Like I said, we were there for 2 weeks. We were rescuing people. We even went out of the precinct to help other precincts help people. And that included me. I was out there with boots on the ground trying to save people off the freeway and make sure that they got home safely.
That is great. That is
Wow.
great. So
You look
how
like
many, I was
Go
going to act real quick. How many people that do you guys have dedicated to just this emergency deal, like on a emergency situation? Like right now, I know from working with agencies myself that I always had 20 or 25 people that as soon as we start hearing these things getting ready to happen, I would automatically send out a little text, or back then we used the pagers, right? I
Right.
would send the pager out to everybody and say, hey, you've been activated. So they would know automatically to go get their gear and get staged and get ready to go. So
That's everybody. Everybody
Wow.
from the constable all the way down. She stays with us. We don't stay alone. She's there with us every step of the way. We let them know in advance, take care of your family, get your stuff situated at home, and then report for duty.
Wow. That's amazing. Great.
Wow. Yeah. I was saying that you feel very like friendly.
Thank you.
Like you're very easy to talk to. You have a big smile. So that would really give a person a sense of safety and trust towards you? Do you go every time they call?
Do I go when they call? No, I kind of miss it, but I do get away every once in a while, and I enjoy going. Like I said, I make some of the civic club meetings, so I enjoy going out into the community and talking to the community, and I love working with the kids. So sometimes I get calls from parents who need some assistance, and you know, we try to talk to the kids and the parents on how to deal with the challenges of raising kids.
Yes.
Yes. Can they call this number and request specifically for you or somebody who would be able to handle that?
They can ask if there's anything specific that they want to speak to me about. I'd be more than happy to speak with them. Yes, of course. And if it's a crime, then you would ask dispatch to send an officer. But if they just want to call and ask a question, I'm there Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Because I know the Houston Police Department has like a special unit for people who's having crisis, like mental crisis or something. Do you guys have the same or something similar?
Yes, our officers are trained in CIT to deal with mental health. It's the crisis intervention team. Yes. Since we're a small department, we're trained in a little bit of everything.
That's great to hear. That's awesome. Wow, you gave us so much information. I know that we probably still have some more questions regarding the vendors deal, but I think you gave us a foundation from where we can work from, and we can now go and start talking to them and the actual business owners and try to work something from that point of view. And maybe we can set something up between your office and the people that you have on your staff, and let them know that, look, like you just said, they're here, they're available for you. Don't worry about it. Give them a call. We know that we want them to be, just like you said, we want them to be out there and about making some money, having a good time. The kids love it. The people love it. They're a great service to our community, albeit it doesn't seem like it, but it's part of our culture, and it's
Absolutely.
probably one of the nicest part of our culture. So thanks a lot on that. We appreciate that.
No problem. Like I said, if you need my assistance to help out in the meetings, we're here to serve you.
Excellent.
Oh, that's wonderful to know.
I don't have any more questions. You guys have good now.
We're good.
We're good.
All right, good deal.
All right. So we can call it a day. Yeah. Thank you. For
All right. Thank
Well,
you.
thank you. We really appreciate it. And personally, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.